the other budgets. Remember, we dealt with the incremental budget. For me, the incremental budget is the budget that I think you can easily do. We did our flexible budget. So if you can tell me that you understand, you still remember the basics under those budgets. Let me ask a question. Are you okay with the flexible budget and the incremental budget so far? Let me see on the chat if you are okay with them. Not like you are perfect, but you still have an idea of what we've done. So let me see on the chat if you're okay with it. Because today I'm going to focus on the cash budget, and the cash budget is the main one. Junior, are you okay with it? Samileni, are you okay with it? Virgilio, are you okay with it? Thank you so much. Kim, thank you so much. Zoe, are you okay with it? Thank you so much. Remember, guys, step by step. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate. Thank you. So today I just want us to focus on the cash budget, because I'm gonna go back and forth. So I'm going to share my screen. So in that way, it's gonna be better, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. So for now, I'm just gonna share the screen, guys, and then if you've got any questions, can you do that? And thereafter, I'm gonna upload. What is that? I'm gonna upload an ICE task number 3, okay? Because it's gonna be based on that. But don't worry, I'm gonna give you enough time to do it. Don't worry. You know how we roll. We always do that. So please just wait for a moment so that I can share the screen with you. Okay. And please let me know if you can see. I'm gonna share it now, and I'm gonna ask if you can see my screen. Can you all see my question? Please, you can use the audio if you can. Can you all see, or you can even type, it doesn't matter. Can you see my question? Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. So this is the question that I want us to go through. Remember, this is a previous paper. Remember, I told you this module is very easy as long as you know the basics. That's why I want you at all times, make sure that you ask questions. Don't postpone questions. Remember, no one is perfect, guys. No one is perfect. We are all learning. I'm also learning from you. I'm telling you, I'm learning from you. So don't say this is a silly question, because sometimes people say, no, I can't ask a question because it's a silly question. Even if they can say it's a silly question, guys, don't worry about it. Remember, my name is Sylvester. Sometimes they call me silly. Can you see now? So don't worry. If this is a silly question, don't worry. They're talking about a man of my caliber, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So please make sure that you ask questions where possible. Okay. So for now, I just want us to go through this question slowly so that after finishing this, you will be in a better position to understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, what I prefer, because when I'm sharing the screen now, it's going to be sometimes difficult to go back. So even if you want to ask a question, you can also use an audio, because I can hear if you're using the audio and I can stop. Okay. So, but yeah, let's start with this question now. Now, this is a cash budget. Remember, I said the cash budget. Remember when I was explaining the budgets, I did mention that we have got the master budget, all the budgets together, all of them, all of the budgets that we went through. All of them are called master budget. Can you see now? And remember, we had sales budget, we had operating budget, we have capital expenditure. So all of them together are called what? Master budget. But there is this one budget which affects all the budgets. And this budget is called cash budget. So cash budget affects all the assets, but we only look at the cash. Can you see now? We only look at the cash that we are budgeting for. So if something is not cash, we are not going to record it. Can you see now? So if I buy something for cash, let's say I buy an equipment for cash, yes, that equipment is going to be part of my budget, cash budget. But the minute I buy it on credit, I'm not going to record it under my cash budget. So cash budget is all about the inflow of cash and the outflow of cash. Those who did a basic accounting before, there is something called cash receipts journal, and we've got something called cash payments journal. Here is like we're combining those two books together, but in a budget way. Remember, budgets are not actual. These are just the figures which we are expecting to have at the end of the day. Okay, so I'm just going to analyze these questions so that we can understand better. Now, here we've got a business by the name of what? This is our business. Our business is Tandoloetu Dealers. So Tandoloetu Dealers is preparing a cash budget for the next quarter. Can you see now? A quarter of a year has got 3 months. So this will be our quarter. Can you see now? We've got quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3. No, not quarter 1. Month 1, month 2, month 3. So this is like a quarter. A quarter consists of what? Of 3 months. So month 1, month 2, month 3. Can you see? So the minute I see that, before I can go and record, because I'm dealing with, let me highlight that, I'm dealing with 3 months. So it means I must go and sometimes they give you the answer sheet, sometimes they don't give you the answer sheet. But what you need to do, I'm going to show you this. There's something like this. I've drawn it already. So I'm going to have a format like this. Can you all see the format, please? Someone with the audio, just tell me if you can see my format. Can you all see my format? Okay, it's okay, guys. Okay, you said yes, because if you type, guys, if I'm there, I can't see your message. I must come back and do it here. Okay, so as long as you can see it. Okay, so this is the format. We've got month 1, month 2, and month 3. So next time they can give you the name of the month, they can say January, February, March. It doesn't matter. So a cash budget consists of 2 main sections, as you can see here. A cash budget consists of what? The cash inflows, and then we have got the cash outflows. Can you see now? These are the main sections of the cash budget. Let me make them bigger so that you can see what I'm talking about. We've got the cash inflows and the cash outflows. Okay, so these are the main sections. So if you don't want to say cash inflows, you can say cash receipts. It's up to you. You can call it cash receipts. So I don't know what's happening with my keyboard. Sorry, I just said sorry for the noise. So because it seems as if it's not responding, you can call it cash receipts. So let me just do this. So if you want, okay, but it's up to you. Let me see. Let me do this. Let me do this. Can you see now? And this one you can call it cash payment. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's the one and the same thing. Okay, so that's why I'm saying it's up to you guys. You can decide to call it cash receipts and the cash payment. Can you see? So these are the main sections which we have in this budget. So here we record all the cash that we're going to receive. And then here under the cash outflow. Hi guys, so I'm sorry. You know, this is Sunshine. There's a car outside here. I don't know. This guy is very angry outside. Apology for that. Okay. So now we've got the cash outflow. Is where we put all the outflow of cash. But I'm gonna show you as the time progresses. Okay. So now we need to have this format. So now we've got the format. It means we can come and record. Remember, you need to understand whether you are receiving cash or you are paying cash. So I'm gonna go back to the question. So if you can't see the question, let me know. Okay, now they say sales. So it's very much important for us to know that we are talking about the sales. So we've got sales here. Let me just highlight. We've got sales here. Can you see that? So on the sales, what do they mean? They say the sales for month 1, month 2, and month 3 are as follows. Can you see that? So I want you to know this sales. So they gave us the sales for this month. So to make my life easier, before I can go further, I must go back to the format, and I'm gonna go and record these sales as they are, the way they are given to me. For month one, for example, in line with the sales. Can you see here the sales? So I'm gonna say sales is 3.5. Can you see? This is what I'm gonna do. And then the other one is 400,000. And the other one is 415. Can you see now? I'm just putting the sales there. Can you see now? So it means these are the sales which I have. They gave me the sales. Okay. But these are just the given sales, doesn't mean anything. But you must know that in life, the sales can either be in the form of cash or sometimes they can be on credit. So after putting these sales, you must go back to the information and check if all the sales are for cash or if all the sales are on credit. Can you see now? So we need to go and check. So I'm going to go back and check the information. So if you go back and check the information here, the following information is provided. So they give us the sales, I wrote them down. So they say 30% of sales are for cash. So it means if 30% of the sales are for cash, it means 70% are on credit because my sales all in all must be 100%. So I know for sure that the sales which I have here, the sales, they said 30% is cash. So if they say the 30% of my sales are cash, so it means 70% is on credit. So for now, because I'm only looking for cash, I'm gonna go there to the answer book. And can you see what cash sales here? Remember, sometimes they don't draw this format for you. You must just know what to write. So you must know the format. So the first thing I'm gonna check under sales, I'm gonna have cash sales. So I will just write this so that I cannot make mistake. I know that 30% of each and every sale now. So let me just make it like this. It's 30%. Okay, the 30% is cash. So can you see now I'm dealing with the cash sales here. So please use the calculator and calculate 30% for month one, 30% of 350,500. What is 30%? I find 105,150. That is the 30%. In other words, how did I find this? I said 350, 500, and I multiplied by 30%. Can you see how I did that? So for me to find that, I said 350 times, because the question is telling me the 30% of sales are for cash, and I'm looking for cash. So for each and every month, I'll take 30%, 30%, 30%, 30%. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Are we all still together? Thank you so much. Guys, let me know. Okay, yes. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So now, let me go back now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. No problem. So let me continue, guys. Now, so we must go. Please, if you don't understand, you must just tell me. So the same thing that I did here, I'm going to say 400,000 multiplied by 30%. 120. If I'm wrong, guys, you must help me. 120,000. Easy, like VC, as you can see. Okay. Same one here, 415, 123 times 30%. It's better to show calculations because if you make a mistake, I can mark your calculations. Okay. Let's use the calculator. 415 times 30%. 415, 123 times 30%. 124, 500. That's what I got. 124, 500. Okay. This is the first step. Can you see now? Step by step. Firstly, you must always start with the sales. Okay. So they gave you the sales, you just have to like that. So if you write the sales down here, they will help you a lot. Now you are looking for the cash sales, you must follow whatever they told you to do. Like for example, here they told us that, can you see now? They told us that 30% of the sales are for cash. That's why I used what? 30%. So in other words, the remaining 70% will be on credit. Okay. Now, any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, no problem, no problem. Now, the next step, remember there's something called here account receivable collection. Remember, if 30% was cash, it means the remainder, which is 70%, because we want to make it 100%, the remainder is on credit. So it means I sold goods on credit. Now, what you call the people to whom you sold goods on credit to, you call them debtors. Another name for debtors is account receivable. Write it down for the future. Account receivables are the same as debtors. So it means here on the account receivable is where I'm going to deal with that 70%. So here is where I'm going to deal with my 70%. Can you see now? So my 70% will be the one that has been sold on credit. Can you see now? So meaning I finished with the cash. Now I'm gonna go and check the accounts receivable. Like I said, the accounts receivable is the same as debtors control. So in other words, 70% I sold on credit, and then I call them my debtors. But remember, when I sell goods on credit to my debtors, I will give them the terms of payment. Can you see now? So I'm going to tell them how to pay. So in other words, I will have a policy of collecting. So meaning this 70% that I'm going to put here, I'm going to have a way of collecting that. So the information must tell me how will I collect. But firstly, let's find our 70%, the same way I dealt with that one on top. So 70% obviously here, I'm going to say 105, 150. No, not 105. It's 350, 500 times 70%. Let's see how much. Two, 4, 5, 350. 2, 4, 5, 350. Okay. Yes, that's how you calculate it. Because remember, now we're dealing with remember the total sales is this one. So here, let me just write like this so that you can understand. This is equivalent to 100%. You see now? So if this is equivalent to 100%, what does this mean? It means if this one is 30%, 30% of that is what we did here. But now 70% of the same thing of the total, because they all are part of sales here. So all in all, 70 plus 30 is 100. Okay. Now, what is the next one? The same procedure. Just want to put the sales tax so that you can see how it works. So I'm going to say 400,000 times 70%. I hope, guys, from your side, you're doing the same thing. 400,000 times 70%, 280,000. Okay, so I believe if you don't get it, you're going to tell me. Okay. 415.3 times 70%. 29500. Okay, so let me give you an opportunity to ask because I don't want you to remember. I'm just putting the figure so that I put everything so that when you study at a later stage, you know what to do. Okay. So these calculations, you can also do them somewhere else, but it's better for me if I show you on this one. So any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Let me see yes, yes, yes if you're following, guys, because I'm not sure. I want to see yes, yes. Thank you, Kanyo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate. Okay, no problem. Thank you, Leila. Thank you, Kau. Thank you. Yes, Miss Samantha Busisiwe, Ember. Yes, 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 yes. Not difficult, you can see, but you need to be slow first. Okay, Junior, thank you so much. Sia, thank you. Thank you very much, very much. Now, let me go back to the question. Now, but remember, here I was just showing that we have got 70%. But remember, this is just showing that I've got 70% as my debtors collection. Remember, accounts receivable are the same as debtors. So now we must check how are we going to receive. This doesn't mean that we receive 245. It doesn't mean that we receive 280. It doesn't mean that we receive 290. It just shows you that in month one, we are owed by our debtors this amount. So that's why we need to go back to the question itself. And the question will tell us how are we going to collect from our debtors. Now, let me highlight and change the color here. So according to this information, remember they said 60% of the credit sales. Now they are talking about the credit sales. So the 60% of the credit sales, they are talking about 70%. Remember the 70% is the credit sales that they are talking about, are settled in the month following the month of, let me do this. I don't want to highlight the whole thing. So in the month following the month of sale. And the remaining 40% will be after 2 months. Very easy. What do they mean? It means if I am in March, now it's March. If I'm in March, it means I'm going to collect 60% of that amount in what? In April. And the 40% will be collected in what? In May. So you must just check in which month. So, but this is how we are going to collect that 70%. They say the current accounts payable, receivables are how much? So it means apart from the sales that we do have 340,000, which is going to be paid in month one. So we have got the accounts receivable from the previous period. They say this 340, they're not talking about the sales that I'm talking about. They're talking about the 340. The 340 of which 70% of 340 will be paid in what? Month 1. So what we can do at the moment is to deal with this 340 before I can go to the sales. So let's go and make sure that we pay this 70% in month 1. Okay, I thought that was a question, no problem. Now, so if I go back here, I want you to follow, guys. So I'm going to come back to the 60% and everything. Don't worry about it. So now they're saying the current account receivable. In other words, the receivables apart from the sales that I have, they say they owe me 340,000, and they say this 70% of 340,000 must be paid in month 1. What will I go and do? What will I do? I'm going to come here in month 1. I must pay that 70%. Remember this, they said the amount owed is how much? 340. 1, 2, 3. And then they say the 70%. Don't confuse this 70%. That is the another 70. It's not the 70% that you see on top here. It's just another 70%. It can be any other percentage in the future. $340 times 70%. 238. So I'm just doing whatever they say I must do. They said 70%, as you can see there, they said 70% of 340 will be paid in what? In month 1. So I went to month 1 and I paid. Can you see? So in other words, we received this 238. This has got nothing to do with my 70%. Are we together? So I hope you understand this one. So now we need to come to our policy. They said 60% of the credit sales. What are the credit sales? By credit sales, they're referring to this 70%. 70% is the credit sales. Let me see. So these are the credit sales that they're talking about. So they are trying to show, tell us how are we going to collect these amounts. So how are we going to collect 245? How are we going to collect 280? How are we going to collect 290? So if you go back to the question, 60% of the credit sales are settled in the month following the month of sale. Can you see now? So now we must do the 60%. So now let's check here. Under month 1, my credit sales are how much? Are 245. Meaning 60% of 245,350 is going to be collected in the next month. So the first collection will be in the next month. So because this 245,350, it is in month 1, it means the 60% of that amount will be collected in month 2. Why am I doing that? Because I'm following whatever they told me here. They say 60% are settled in the month following the month of sale. So now my month is month 1, and my sale is how much? 245. Meaning 60% of 245 will be collected in what? In month 2. So that is the first collection. I don't know if you're following or not. Okay, so it means I'm going to say, okay, come here, because that is the first collection, first month. So the first month will be my month 2. So in month 2, I'm going to say 245. 1, 2, 3, which is the trade sale there. Only 60% of that will be collected in month 2. Remember, it is from month 1. So they say 60% following month. What is following month? following month is month 2. So I'm going to say 245. You see, 245,350. Cents. I get 147,210. 147,210. Someone can ask and say, why do we record in line with the first month? This is the first collection for that month. So the first collection will be in line with the first. You see now? So if like here 60% is collected in a month's time, so it means the 40% will be collected after. Remember, we collected 60% here under month 2, meaning 40% will be collected under month 3. But remember, this is the second collection. So I'm going to put it in line with the second month. I'm going to come here. And say 245,350 times 40%. $98,140. Any questions so far? Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Are you following? I'm just trying to check your chat if you have any question here, but it seems as if there is no question so far. All right, but remember, the minute you have a question, let me know. And again, I'm recording this session. You can always go back and check. Thank you so much. Perfect. Okay. Now, remember, I was dealing with month 1. So can you see I used my 60% and I used my 40%. I must also do the same thing for month 2. Can you see that? So again, the information said I am in month 2. The amount that I'm trying to collect for month 2 is 280. I must do the same thing that I did for month 1. So 60% of 280 will be collected in the next month, which is what? Month 3. Can you see now? So what I'm gonna do, because it's the first collection, I'm gonna put it in line with the first month. So I'm gonna come here, but remember I'm dealing with month 2. The month 2 sale here is this 280. 1, 2, 3 times 60%. Okay. 280 times 60%. Let's see. 280, 1, 2, 3 times 60%. I get 168,000. Is it true or false? Let's see. Yes, 168,000. I'm going to write 168,000. That was my 60%. Can you see? I do the same thing that I did for month 1. So meaning if I collected 60% in month 3, meaning 40% will be collected in month 4, but I don't have month 4. So I'm not going to collect anything. I'm going to ignore the 40% because if I can try to collect 40%, it will mean that I must have month 4. You see, that's why for month 2, I can only collect 60%. Okay, so we need to understand that. Now, this was month 2. I must do the same thing for month 3. Remember, I'm trying to collect what? This amount. And I must say, okay, I'm in month 3 now, but 60% must be collected in the next month. What is the next month? Will be month 4. Do I have month 4? So I don't have month 4. I'm going to ignore 60%. I must also ignore 40% because I don't have month 5. So this is how I will collect. Can you see? This is how I will collect my debtors. I need questions. This is how I collected my debtors. Let me see if I can make it special like that. No, I can't make it special. Let me just leave it. Trying to be creative, but I can't be. Okay, so but it's okay. This is what I wanted to show you guys. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? So after doing that is then that we can find our total here, but we need to be careful here. We only have to add the cash sales and the account receivable. Why? Because 30 plus 70, they are part of that sale. So if you can try to add that, so what you can do, we don't have to add this. Let me try to do this. So we don't have to worry about, don't have to add this one. This is just a sale that we put there. So what you need to add, you must add sales, cash sales plus what? Accounts receivable. So in other words, you're gonna take 1050 here, this one, and then you add 245, you add 238. That's what we need. I'm gonna put it here as the total. Okay. Okay, no, sorry, let me just do this. So, okay, we don't have to, I'm just double checking something. So this is the total sales, you don't have to add this. And this is the account receivable, it's on credit. We don't have to, we have to add, let me highlight them so that you can see. You have to add, we have to add this one, and this one. Yes, because even remember, this is credit, you cannot, we just want to add to whatever we received as cash. This is cash of 105. This is cash that we received. Can you see now? So we only have to add 105, not 105, where is it? Where am I? 105 plus 238. I can't see properly here. So I'm gonna just do this so that I can be able to write. So I get something like 343,150. Okay, that is the total. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Okay. And the other one is and the other one that is how we find our total receipts. Okay. That's okay. So please ask me any question if you are lost. Okay. So this is how, you see, this is how we find the totals. You must only add the cash sales and what you collected. Remember, these ones are just there just to help you. Okay, so that you can have all that. So if you don't want to have these calculations here, these ones on top, it's no problem. You can do them somewhere at the bottom. So now we can come to our purchases. In other words, now This cash is the cash that we received. We are going to receive in month 1, cash that we are going to receive in month 2, and the cash that we are going to receive in month 3. So now we must check the payments. And again, we are controlled by our information. So if you check here, just a question. I just want to ask you know how we roll. Can I give you a break, or can we finish this question and then we call it a day? Let me see on the chat, guys. Are you still with me? Okay. Okay, no problem. It's okay, guys. Do you understand? Because we just have to do only this question, and that's all we have to do for today. Okay. So I'm just gonna finish the question and we go, and then we can go and practice. Okay, no problem. Let me go back to the question, guys. Thank you for that. Now, let me remove all this other information so that you can understand that, so that you cannot be confused. You know, because if you see many colors sometimes, we normally call it a color blocking. So, yeah, let me just try to change the color here. Okay, now we are here. Now they say the purchases. Now I'm dealing with the purchases. Remember, the purchases are the same as the purchases of stock. So when you see the word purchases, you must think about inventory. They say they consist of 70% of the sales for the month. Can you see now? So before I can go further, I must go and show my purchases so that I cannot be confused. So I'm gonna go and do whatever they say I must do. So I'm gonna go and check the sales for that month and take 70% to be my purchases. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to the purchases. I'm gonna go there. Can you see now? These are the purchases. So it means they said purchases are how many percent? If I can check here again, they say they are 70% of the sales. So meaning I must go to the sales on top there. Can you see? They didn't say trade sales, they didn't see cash sales, they just said sales. So meaning I'm gonna go and take this 350. 350, 500. I'll multiply by, I think it's 70%, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check before. Yes, they said 70% of sales. So I'm going to take 70% of 350 there. How much do I get? 2.4. Can you see this question is confusing because now they talk about 70%. If you're not careful, you will think like they're talking about the 70% that we talked about. No, that is a new 70%. It's separate. Okay. So this is how you need to find your. Can you see now? That's what they told me. I'm following the instruction. Can you see now? They told me purchases are expected to be 70% of sales. So I'm gonna go and each and every sale, I'm gonna do that. I think it's the same as, let's see. Sales here for month 2 will be 400,000. As you can see here, they're on top here. 400,000 times 70%. And what do I get? 280,000. You see, the same applies that I'm going to take the sales on top there because they said I must do so. I cannot dispute that. So their wishes are my commands. Can you see now? I'm going to say times 70%. And what do I get? I get 290, 500. So this is how I need to, can you see, I found. So again, can you see now, these are my purchases. So now out of this purchase, like when I did my sales, can you see now? So it means all these I can write, these are my 100% purchases. So that's, 100%. Okay, no problem. So I found my purchases. Okay, and what are they saying there? They said 60% of the purchases are paid for in the month purchases are made, and the remainder in the following month. So something, they're saying something here which I need to consider here. They said 60% will be paid in the month. In other words, if I make purchases in this month, I'm gonna pay this month. So automatically I can see this is what? This is the cash. This 60% is the cash payment, it's the cash purchases, because I pay in the same month that I bought. And the remainder, what is the remainder? The remainder is the 40% will be paid when? In the following month. Meaning 60% in the month where I bought, and the remainder will be paid in the next month, is what they're saying. But they say the outstanding amount, outstanding accounts payable around amounts to how much? 165. What do they mean by saying an outstanding accounts payable amount? In other words, this is the amount that we owe the creditors from the previous period. Okay, so we need to be careful here. Now, we need to go back to the answer book so that we can do whatever they want us to do. Okay, so let's go and check the format. Remember, 60% is cash. So what I'm gonna do, so forget, I'm gonna write 60% here, so that you don't have to write it. I'm just saying for me it works, because if I write it down like this, I'll remember what to do. So I know that I'm gonna deal with the 60% of what? Of that. So what I'm gonna do, they say 60% is cash. Remember, cash is instant. Cash is for that particular month. So cash, I'm gonna say for the cash, I'm gonna take this amount of 245, 350. Multiply it by 60%, because I need the cash part of it. And how much is it? Let's see. The 245, 350, 245, 350 times 60%. Oh, secondly, 245, 350 times 147,210. Remember, I'm following whatever they said I must do. So I'm dealing with the purchase. They told me that 60% is paid in the same month. It means if it's paid in the same month, it's a cash. Because if it was not paid in the same month, it was supposed to be paid in the next month. It won't be a cash, okay? So I'm gonna say the same thing here. I'm gonna say 280. Remember, I'm taking this 280, 123. For the space, let me not write that. 60%. 80%, 280, 123, 60%, 168,000. Okay, the same applies to that. I take that. $9,500 times 124,300. Okay, that's how it must be. Can you see? You just have to follow whatever they tell you because sometimes they try to confuse you. So you must know what to do at the end of the day. Okay, so that is how I found my cash purchases. They said 60% of the sales. So I went there on the sales. I took 60%, took 60%, took 60%. Now, what did I do here? Yes, for this one, I'm talking about this one. Yes, 60%, 60, 60 or 70. Let's see, 70%. Confuse myself. So they said they are 70. So they said purchases are 70. That's why I said 70% here, 70%, 70%. But now I got my purchases. Now they said 60% is cash. That's why I took 60% of that. Meaning the remainder, which is what? 40% will come here. Remember, accounts payable are the same as creditors. In other words, we owe this one. It's the one that we're going to pay according to the policy. Can you see now? So the 40%, according to them, let's see. They say 60%. So they're just going, okay. 60% of the purchases are paid in the month of of purchases, is what we did. The remainder, can you see, they don't tell you how much. So you must know that if 60% is cash, meaning the remainder will be what? Credit. So let me write it down here. Okay, so we need to deal with 40% of that. 40% of that purchases, okay? So now they say, let me go back. 40% will be, the remainder will be in the following month. So what do they mean? It means the credit sales for what? For month one will be paid in month two. So let's check how much do we owe in month two. So remember the total purchases are 245,350 here. So the 40% of that amount will be collected in what? In month two. Why am I doing that? Is because they told me here. They said the remainder, here will be paid in the following month, which is the 40%. So when I go back, check here, I'm in month one. So meaning the amount for month one will be paid in month two. So in month two, I'm going to pay the amount for month one. So this will be the calculation. Remember, I must take the purchases here of 245,350. But remember, I only need 40% of that. Okay. So the 40% of that is the one that will be paid in month two because I'm following the policy there. 245,350. 245,350 times 0.4, I get 9840, 98140. 98140. You see now? And then, meaning the amount for month two will be paid in month three. So in month two, the amount that I was supposed to pay is going to be this amount. $280,123 times 40%. So it will be in month three because we pay a month after. That's what they told me. So I'm going to say 280,123 times 40%, 112,000. Don't know if I'm going to have a revision for this. I know this kind of thing is sometimes can be confusing, but obviously you must see it first before you can say, I don't understand it, okay? I don't know, we still have to do the revision, but we have to start somewhere, okay? So this is how I collected it. So if I go back, There is 365, as you can see here. There is 165 here. They say this is outstanding amount that we have. So I can't do anything because they didn't tell me whether we have paid it or not. Unlike here, remember when we did our sales here, they told us that 70% will be paid in month one. So this one, they didn't say anything. I cannot touch it because we don't know whether we paid it or not. Okay, so that is how to deal with the accounts payable. Remember, accounts payable are the same as creditors. Now, let's go back to the question. Let me see if there are any questions there. No questions, no questions. Okay. Let me go back. So guys, I just want to check something. Someone sent me an okay, it's okay. No problem. Okay, let's go back to wages and salaries. Wages and salaries and other expenses are paid in the month they occurred. And they are how much? 65,000 per month. This one is very easy. In other words, each and every month, I'm going to have 65,000 here. That is what they meant. That is what they meant. It's very easy. Can you see? They just said, can you see? It's paid on a monthly basis and it's how much? 65,000 per month. So remember, these are the months, so I just have to put it as it is. Can you see now? So now the same applies. Now we must find the total payments. How can we find the total payments here? We will say, let me highlight what we need to add. So we are going to take cash plus accounts payable plus this one. Can you see? So don't touch the totals there, don't worry, because remember, it's like there with the sales, we didn't have to touch that total. We must just leave it. Can you see? Maybe again, maybe I must just it's okay. It doesn't want to respond. It's okay. So if you help me, okay, we're going to take 142210 plus 65 plus 14710. One two two 10. Okay, and then here I'm gonna have 168 plus 98140 plus 65. How much you see? This is my calculator here. Okay, 331,140. And let's do this. Okay, and then this one's gonna be 174,300 plus 112 plus 65. Get 351. 300. Okay, Yes, these are the total receipts, and this one are the total payments here. Okay. See, yes. So this is how we need to do that. And thereafter, we need to find the net cash. How do we find the net cash? You will take the receipts minus the payments. I'm just giving you more information that you can, when you study, you can, the receipt, and then you minus the payment. So what you need to do, you take this amount of 343,140 and then you minus it. You minus what? 212. You see, 343,150 minus 212. Still calculating, guys. I'm using my calculator here. You must also help me from your side, guys. You can't just leave me alone here. We are in this together. 150 minus 212, 210. I get 130. 139.40. What's happening here? Okay, let me just do this. Okay, and this one is 267 minus 331. 267, 210 minus 331, 140. It's minus 63,930. Okay. And then 390 minus 390, 640 minus 351, 300, 39340 positive, 39340. So that is how to find the net cash. So for the net cash, you always take your total receipts and you minus the total payments. Okay, so you get that. Okay. And thereafter, we need to record the opening balance. So the opening balance, they need to give it to us. So let's go ahead and check the information here. They said the cash, can you see here? The cash balance at the beginning of the first month is 35,000 and the required minimum cash is 10,000. So for now, don't worry about the 10,000. We need the cash balance at the beginning of the first month. So first month, 35,000. So we must go there under the first month and we just write 35,000 here. Okay. 35,000. That's the first month. Okay. Let me just make this bigger. So this is, can you see, it's given. They must give it to you. If you don't have it, you're going to put 0 here. So thereafter, let me just put this same number. Thereafter, you take your net, let me put it in brackets here. So I want you to know by the time when you do revision, I want you to, so you will take your net cash and you add yes, let me just check if I can You see? So you take your net cash and you add your opening balance. So your net cash is 13940. 13940 here. 13940 plus 35,000. I get 48940. This is what I got. That is the closing balance. Okay? And then the closing balance for month one, because this is the closing balance for month one, will be the opening balance for the month two. Can you see month two is here? So it means, because this is the closing balance for month one, it will be the opening. Let me just change the color maybe so that you can see what I'm talking about. So this will be the opening balance for, you see how does it work? So that's why they only give you the opening balance for the month one. You see now, and now you do the same thing. You use the same formula. You take the net cash and you add what? The opening balance here. But that is the negative. Let's see how we're gonna get. So minus 63, 8, 940, 98. I get minus 14,990. See, so that is the opening, the closing balance for it for month two. Because this is the closing balance for month two, this will be the opening balance for month three. Can you see? So I'm gonna take this one. Let's see now. It's gonna be opening balance for month two, but it must be in brackets, as you can see here. Can you see now? So it must be in brackets. And thereafter, do the same thing. You use the formula. You say this one 39340 minus 14,990. And I get a positive amount of 24,350. See, that's how we do that. And then this is the closing balances that I have. Can you see here in month one, at least I've got a positive cash in the bank. And month two, I've got a negative, but month three, I improved. Can you see now? So now the minimum there, when they say the minimum, they say the minimum that we must have 10,000 every month. So that is the minimum cash that we must have. So every month we must make sure that we have got 10,000. That's the minimum amount. We just have to copy it as it is, 10,000 each. That's the amount that we must have each and every month. But now we need to check whether we have got more, or maybe we require more finance, because according to the balance that we have in the bank, we have got 48,940, but the minimum must be what? 10,000, meaning we've got more than enough. So we're going to have excess cash. So the excess cash is just the difference between the two. Can you see now? So the difference is going to be 3,8,940 Okay, the same applies to this one. We have got a negative cash in the bank, but we were supposed to have 10,000. Can you see now? Now we need to have what? We're gonna need more finance, but you don't have to worry as long as you give me the difference. So the difference there is gonna be 4,990. Just put it as a negative, it doesn't matter. And then here we have 24,000, which is more than what? The normals, because remember we are supposed to have, this is the minimum that we must have. So in other words, it's a good situation here. So meaning we've got the difference of 14,350. Only the middle month, the month 2, I think, is the one that didn't do well. So this is what we have, can you see? So this is what we call the cash budget. That's why I'm saying the cash budget can be a little bit confusing because they give you too much information. Can you see now? They give you too much information. What do you need to understand? Just read and follow whatever they want you to do. So remember, this was just a warm-up exercise. So you have to see for the first time before you can say that you understand it. So at a later stage, maybe I don't know when we meet, maybe I would like to do this face-to-face in a classroom environment so that I can put it on the board. You can ask me a question on the board. I know sometimes online is not that easy, but for now, let's work with what we have. Soon we're going to be in class face-to-face, and then I'm going to make sure that I give you another exercise similar to this so that we can be able to understand better. Let me ask questions, guys. Any questions so far? Remember, this has been recorded, so you can access it thereafter. But if you don't have any other questions, guys, it's okay. We can disperse. I can see that we are touched, some of us. And maybe we still have another lesson. I'm also having another lesson after you. So if you don't have any question, guys, I think we can just say it's okay for now. If you, okay, guys, let me see. Okay, before we disappear. Thank you, Pasika. This is Laila. Thank you. Can you? Thank you. Sia. Okay. September. Can you? See? Thank you, guys. Yeah. Thank you very much, Virgilia. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you again. I don't know when, but I'll see you when I see you. Okay. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you, guys. Have a nice one. Have a nice.